Sí, brother, muchas gracias, por favor. Puede entonces continuar ya con la siguiente charla que es de Jason Ortiz, MCBA, Cambio Social a través de asociaciones de capital, impacto de inversión y casos de negocios interesantes que nos trae Jason Ortiz, a quien le damos la bienvenida.
Hello. Hello. So, me llamo Jason Ortiz y yo soy de Connecticut, en los Estados Unidos. Mi familia es de Puerto Rico, pero yo soy un boricua de los Estados Unidos, entonces yo hablo en inglés por eso. And so this presentation today is going to be on impact investing through social equity partnerships. We're going to go over a number of different types of social equity programs that are, for the most part, focused in the United States. But towards the end of the program, we're going to talk a little bit about how to expand these programs to the international level. But first, a little bit about ourselves. So my name is Jason Ortiz. I'm the Vice President of the Minority Cannabis Business Association. I am also the President of the Connecticut Puerto Rican Agenda. And most recently, I was the Political Director for CURE CT, which was a Connecticut-based equity organization that focused on securing equity language in Connecticut's legalization bill. And that bill did not pass, but we were able to get a number of our pieces of language into the bill. But I first got involved in the cannabis industry when I was arrested at age 16 and thrown out of school and thrown into the criminal justice system. And so that's when I got to learn a few different terms: selective enforcement, the school-to-prison pipeline, and the war on drugs. And it was that experience that led me to want to change the laws that were affecting me at that time so that folks that came after me didn't have to deal with the same negative situation that I did. And it was through organizing that I discovered organizations like Students for Sensible Drug Policy, the Minority Cannabis Business Association, and many more. My major role for MCBA is to draft model policy. And so we craft legislation that can be used at the municipal, state, federal, and hopefully after this conference, the international level. And it was through that work of actually writing our own laws that I met my friend and colleague, Dominic Coronel.
Hello, good afternoon. My name, as Jason said, is Dominic Coronel. I founded the Cannabis Equity Illinois Coalition, which is a coalition of over 23 organizations in my state of Illinois, from the ACLU to the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, to clergy and religious leaders, to students and community members, with the goal of protecting social equity applicants, which we'll talk about later in this presentation. So that entity sort of acts as the gatekeeper for industry trying to partner with social equity applicants, which they really will do. And we'll tell you why. I'm also the director of THC, director of social equity recruiting with a company called THC Staffing Group, and that essentially is an entity that matchmakes qualified and diverse candidates with industry. I also serve on the board of directors of an entity called Students for Sensible Drug Policy, a global nonprofit that seeks to educate, organize, and empower young people and students to fight back against the disastrous war on drugs in their communities. We are in over 32 countries with over 300 chapters, and I'm proud to say that in Illinois, I helped lead the youth movement and advocacy to help pass the most comprehensive and equitable cannabis legislation in the nation. And we in the drug policy reform movement made history and are bringing true justice to our communities by repairing the damage done by the war on drugs. And you see, for me, this fight is personal. I was 7 years old when the DEA broke down our door, pointed guns at our bodies, and screamed at us to get on the floor. They ravaged our home, destroyed my toys and my childhood, and took my father away for years. Even before that, I had lost my mother to drugs and addiction. I was orphaned by the war on drugs. And that is why I dedicated my life to uplifting social equity applicants like myself, to bring wealth and opportunity where there is none, and to repair the damage done by the war on drugs. And today I stand before you, a survivor of homelessness, poverty, the school-to-prison pipeline, and the war on drugs. And at 23 years old, I'm on a path to become the youngest recipient of a cannabis social equity license in the entire state of Illinois, perhaps the entire United States of America. So I'm glad to be here today.
So a quick background on NCBA. So I've been with NCBA for about 4 years. I started out as the policy committee chair, and now I'm the vice president. NCBA seeks to get people of color in the United States into the cannabis industry as owners, employees, and entrepreneurs. But the way we're able to do that is actually structuring the laws that are put into place by the various states. And as you've seen so far, each state takes a different approach. But we have been doing this for the last 4 years of bringing people together in order to draft the policies that we want to see for us. And so we're going to have a quick video here that shows a little bit about one of our most recent policy summits in Oakland, California. And the young lady you see here in the front is Shanita Penny, who is our president. It's on the flash drive. Sorry, I'm Puerto Rican, so they're telling me I have to slow down a little bit. Sorry about that. So as we wait for the video to get pulled up, NCBA is a nonprofit trade association, so we are not a 501c3 or C4 that you would think of as a normal advocacy group. We're actually a combination of industry owners and advocates. And so I came into it as an advocate, as somebody that was looking to change criminal justice laws, but as I got exposed to all the other amazing entrepreneurs in the organization, I quickly wanted to transition into being part of the industry. And so with that, and the folks that have helped support me through NCBA, we are working on securing a cultivation license in Puerto Rico, and we look forward to all of you joining and being able to be a part of NCBA. There's lots of different work that we do on it. We do work on policy, but we also work on economic empowerment through industry accelerator programs that are more on the entrepreneurial side of it. And then we also have our medical committee, which works on advancing the medical knowledge and medical prowess from communities of color, specifically doctors of color, to be able to treat specific illnesses that are affecting Latinos, African Americans, Native Americans, and others. There we go. No audio. So I'll just narrate the video as we go, and we'll keep it moving. So this was an event that we held in Oakland, California. It was specifically to create a model municipal ordinance. And so the difference between a model municipal ordinance and a model state bill, a municipal ordinance is for a city or a municipality. And we've seen throughout the country that both at the state and local level, equity programs can change quite a bit. And this grouping happened in 2018 that was specific to municipal level discussions. And so we had to think very closely about things like zoning, things like making sure the communities that we're getting reinvested in were communities that were actually impacted by the war on drugs. So how do you quantify whether a community was impacted by the war on drugs?
I think there's really good energy. There's a really exciting mix of
So there were some other pictures here. So after we had the Oakland program come through, we decided to also focus a bit on the federal level. And so the picture you're seeing right there was MCDA's appearance at the Capitol. And from there, we were transitioning away from a municipal focus and a state focus to a federal focus. Because as we have seen in the United States, the discussion at the federal level is heating up. We're going to see issues like safe banking be addressed in the near future. And there's multiple approaches to federal legislation that we wanted to make sure we were a part of. But at this summit, we were able to have a number of congresspeople join us, including one of them, which was Congressman Earl Blumenauer. He is the co-chair of the Cannabis Caucus in DC, in Congress. And he had some very interesting things to say to us, but also at our press conference, he made one thing very clear. There will be no comprehensive cannabis legalization bill that does not include strong equity components. So as you can see at both the municipal, state, and federal level, social equity is becoming the standard. Now, one of the problems with it being the standard is there's actually no standards on what social equity looks like and who specifically can access it. So at its core, social equity programs ensure that communities most directly impacted by the war on drugs are revitalized using revenue generated by the legal cannabis industry. So this means that as we collect revenue, as we decide how we're going to tax cannabis, as we decide what it means to be an equity applicant or a general applicant, that tax revenue needs to go back to communities that were impacted. We need to figure out exactly how we're going to quantify that, what those communities need, and how we're going to get it to them. So besides being an actual owner, social equity programs reinvest cannabis revenue into community-based organizations and public services. They increase economic mobility of community members through training programs and career pathways. They ensure that cannabis revenue is allocated to address deficits in housing, employment, and substance use disorder. And they help revitalize neighborhoods and community spaces by revitalizing spaces that may have been left behind. And so the problem with it at this point is that each state is very different, but we're going to look at Illinois as a specific example.
So yes, this is my home state of Illinois, where I spent 2 years of my life working to pass the Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act, which of course was championed by advocates like My Equity Coalition using MCBA's model legislation. So in those 2 years, I learned a lot and read a lot of pages. There's 600 pages of those bills in that bill, and I know that bill like the back of my hand. But let's dive into like very high level details. Along with prioritized access for social equity applicants like myself, there's a $20 million low interest loans for those social equity applicants. But you might be wondering what qualifies someone to be a social equity applicant. And that's defined as someone who has at least 51% ownership or control. And these individuals have to meet either one of 3 criteria. Live in an impacted area, areas which, like where I live in the south and west side of Chicago, are areas where communities have been unfairly targeted, arrested, and those communities have been ravaged by drug prohibition or the war on drugs. Or 2, this is how I qualify. You must have been arrested or convicted of a cannabis-related offense. When I was 19 years old, I was a very ambitious young gentleman, and in order to pay for college, I sold weed. Was caught with 12 pounds of weed, and well, the rest is history. The bright side is, now I qualify to be a social equity applicant. The third thing, and this is where the businesses come in, so pay attention if you're a business owner. Businesses could qualify by hiring these social equity applicants who meet these qualifications, right? So that's why we formed the Cannabis Equity Coalition in Illinois and are essentially holding the key to access to protect these social equity applicants from the sharks. Hopefully there's no sharks in the room. But the reality is that there's a lot of specific policies that are meant to heal the damage done by the war on drugs. So 25% of the revenue in Illinois created from cannabis is going to go to a program called the R3 program. It's the Restore, Reinvest, and Renew program, which basically says that the money that's made from pot should go towards building things like mental health facilities, community organizations, substance use disorder prevention, rebuilding infrastructure, creating opportunity for these communities that have been left behind. I'm proud to say that I was appointed by the Lieutenant Governor of my state to the R3 program and will be helping picking out where those areas are. And of course, expungement of ceiling of over 770,000 cannabis-related convictions, and that's something we fought very hard for in the cannabis bill.
Now, there are some other programs from other states, and actually, as we move forward, things are changing very quickly, and various states are adopting new programs. But for examples, Massachusetts Economic Empowerment Program makes their applicants eligible for fee waivers, and this is something that's coming up quite a bit. And for those of you who have tried to get a license, either in the States or other places, the fees can be quite enormous, in the tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so, if you're an economic empowerment applicant and you get approved, you don't have to pay those fees. And so that's going to make it much easier for you to get started. In the city of Los Angeles, for instance, on the municipal level, social equity applicants will be able to have prioritized licensing and hopefully get first to market. We're already seeing the program start to take off and seeing equity applicants applying. It just started opening up. But in a city like Los Angeles, which is bigger than almost all of New England, being first to market at that sort of level means tens of millions of dollars. One of the other, or many of the other benefits that aren't specific financial benefits that go to being a social equity applicant, you get to have the government actually watching over your application and making sure you're doing everything right. There's tremendous amounts of training and support that are given. There's also going to be a significant boost in community support during the zoning and application process. As you've seen, it is vital that you have community support in order to secure a license. And if your applicant and your team that you're bringing on are actually folks that have been impacted from the community, you're much more likely to have that community support, and it's going to make your work a lot easier. And then lastly for me, I think if you're an equity applicant, you're someone who's Latino or African American, you're going to know best how to actually offer your products to those communities. And so if we were to have a team of equity applicants that were joined together by numerous Latinos from across the world, we're going to be the best at actually selling our products to the Latino communities in LA, in Chicago, in Florida, and so forth. And so having that equity applicant standard that you can say you are a member of the groups that have been impacted, you will be able to access your own communities much easier than those that just don't have the same experience. But one of the bigger reasons that equity licenses will come into play is in limited license states. And so in these situations, there's going to be a very small amount of licenses given, and equity license might be the only way you can get in.
Totally. So let's get real for a second. My home state of Illinois, which, if you know anything about the United States, it's in the heartland of America. Illinois